So we've got a very special guest today, Kizza. Mm-hmm. He was a pretty easy man to track down, to be honest, because I've been hearing some pretty good things, a lot of good things actually, and I think our listeners and our watchers on our bustling YouTube channel at the moment will be pretty easy to jump on YouTube, because that's where I saw him. You actually showed me our very special guest, and the more and the more I've researched, the more I have only heard good things. And he's sitting across. He's going red slightly.
That's it.
No, we've got a very special guest, Mitch Garling.
Gentlemen.
He's in the house. He's a real life, genuine, certified comedian. He's playing the Sydney Comedy Festival at the moment. He's got his new show, Cat Daddy, which we're going to delve into about what that's all about, because I'm a bit of a cat daddy myself, actually.
Oh, yeah, second that.
I'm a dog daddy, a cat daddy, a human daddy.
A human?
Show off.
So you just probably save time, just be a daddy, I reckon.
Right, that's why he's a professional. He's got me. I have to really lift my game here, I think.
You're fine. You're fine.
His new show, Cat Daddy, we're going to talk all about it. Welcome to the show. It's Mitch Garling.
Guys, thank you. You're the best. This is so good.
Do we have a clap sound effect?
No? I'll put one in.
Yeah, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Post.
I'll put one in
We'll
post.
just put it over the clap we just did. If we can edit that clip
It'll
out,
just
put
go,
a better one in.
It'll just go dead, and then
Mitch Garling.
Yeah, exactly. So
Distance.
mate, you've obviously found your way into the dungeon down here,
Yes.
and I think the first question is, well, it's the one I want to know.
Yes.
You are married.
Yes, I am. Yes.
You have a little bub.
Little baby girl. Yes.
Little baby girl.
11 weeks old.
Beautiful.
I knew you looked tired.
Yeah, it's good to have the afternoon off, to be honest.
Babe, the pod went for 5-6 hours.
I don't know what happened.
There was beers.
Weird. Yeah, and I'm sorry I got drunk, but can you pick me up now?
Why are you naked though?
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
You don't know web. You don't understand comedy.
Yeah. So the question, straight out of the blocks, did you have the baby to give yourself 15 minutes?
Yeah, look, mate.
Because there's so much material. I've got a 20-month-old girl and a 6-week-old boy.
Oh shit!
So you and I probably.
I thought I knew you from the classes. Yeah.
Infamous.
Oh, man, it's Oh shit! Like honestly, coming into the festival, the show's an hour, and I sat down one afternoon and did like a dry run of the show just by myself and recorded it, and it was sitting at 35 minutes, and I was like,
Oh, really?
That's without obviously audience
Hang on,
reaction.
it was a dry run of the show, was it?
Yeah.
That wasn't how babies are made. So
No, that was a different, not 35 minutes, Jesus. But yeah, and
if that's a 35-minute dry run, something's wrong.
Yeah, shit,
maybe crack another bottle of wine. That might be
right. Oh man, that'd be a nightmare. But
welcome to the pod, mate.
That's it. I know, right? Pardon me. And so I sat down 35 minutes. I was like, oh, this is gonna be tight.
Yep.
Like, I'm not liking this.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I'll account for laughter and blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah blah. And then my wife was like, look, you're about to have the baby. Like, you're gonna get so much material.
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay, like we'll sit on it, see what happens. And then on the first 2 nights of the show, I ran like 10 minutes over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
After adding all the baby stuff
After
in.
adding all the baby stuff and all this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, the festival, I don't know if they found out, but please don't charge me for the extra time I did there, guys. But so the first 2 nights I ran over, and then the third night I had to cancel my friend who was opening for me. I was like, dude, I need all the time I can get.
You got rid of your opener.
Like, sorry, man, but yeah, you're out of here.
With because I know when our little one first arrived, our little girl, she's our first, and obviously I'm not a comedian, but just the stories that come out of it, like literally just the story of getting my wife to the hospital when she was in labour, and at the time it's super stressful, and Kizza knows I don't handle stress very well. Like before you got here, we had to make a quick trip to Macca and use it, because I forgot that mic needed to be powered.
And so quick little.
So I was ready to fight someone.
No, I mean, probably not going to get you
far
what you need.
No.
Definitely not background
Would
music.
make me feel better.
Just go in and start punching. I mean, if you punched on, you could probably just take what you needed. But
then it's just assault to robbery to
Shout out to Hudson he was great service.
It would have been
Hudson?
No, it was Manning, but that's a nice
Manning?
No.
both rivers actually. Hudson and Manning.
Oh, and that
River
man's-
nerd.
That yeah, man, come on, bro. You know, there's
So I'll tell
one
you something
thing-
about the Nile.
Mate, I'm trying to impress a real life comedian over
Yeah,
here.
if you could tell me, like, what's going on with the Murray at the moment? Fucking not a lot, I don't think.
Murray.
Yeah, not a great deal.
Very dry.
Was that guy's name Manning?
His
Manning,
name
yeah.
was Manning.
But
he was
from music.
Yeah, he was really good because I called him and I was a little stressed because I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake,
Very
like,
What have I done?
first real life human person interview, and
You could have got away with it too. I wouldn't have even noticed, like, or known.
we just
about
left
the
yours
thing.
unplugged.
Yeah,
We had a whole
yell
number
to
of
you
things
guys.
planned.
We
We had
did.
turned this up to max and put it in the middle of us. We
Yeah.
had phone call. Yeah, wasn't going to work.
You've nailed it though.
We nailed it. We got back. I had to have a little settler when we got back here because I was a little stressed. I'm
Yep.
like, this is
Yep.
ridiculous. But yeah. So anyway, shout out to Manning because he actually sorted it out. Because so I called him and I go, mate, have you got a XLR splitter cable?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I've got one of those. And I said,
I think so.
and then I
Was
said,
more
I
accurate.
pushed him. I said, so it can run 2 mics in it. Oh, let me check.
So come on, man. Like, you were pretty confident.
He was so confident.
He did. He went from up here.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Oh.
That's
Yeah.
That's literally that was me because I went to Aaron Affair before here.
Yes.
Went to Johnny Big. I was telling you about that.
Yeah.
But when I went in, the guy was like,
Sponsored now, aren't you?
"Yeah, 100%, mate, Johnny Big. Thank you. Shout out Johnny Big."
Hashtag
Yeah, so he knows the cameras.
peace,
Look at him.
peace to camera.
Hello, Johnny Big, mate. Come on. I am Johnny Big. No, I'm not. But I went to Johnny
I
Big.
can picture him saying that. I am Johnny
Hey,
Big.
Johnny Big.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, I'm just sending that to them. Hopefully get some ad work. But yeah, I went to Johnny Big. Like, that whole confidence thing is like, that's my favorite human trait.
Yep.
Yes.
Is the confident, that guy, literally Johnny Big was like, "Oh, you shopped here before?" And I was like, "Yeah, mate, love it." And he goes, "Which shop?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck."
This
like,
one.
Because I was like, and I was like, "Parramatta?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, cool, good shop." And I was like, "Yes, no."
Yeah,
Good
no,
call. Yeah.
So that's like every morning my wife will be like, "Have you had water today?"
yeah.
And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "When?" And I go,
Oh, what are you, Spanish? What's with this? What's with the questions?
What's with the bloody Inquisition, mate?"
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so shout out to Manning. I feel you, man. Just that confidence, man.
Yeah, he did. He was like, "Fuck, I'm making a sale here."
This is yeah, come in, man. Come in,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Oh no, I don't actually know if we
Yeah.
have it.
I'm not sure.
Well,
That
let's
could be
find
a-
it
It's
together.
my first day,
A
actually.
sales pitch from Manning because we got it. Got you in here. Caught. Shut
Yeah.
the doors.
Have
walk
you
out
ever-
with a $2,000 guitar.
Have you ever thought about a Gibson Les Paul? 14 grand.
Yes, I have.
You're gonna need some serious chords for that. Shit.
Absolutely,
I'm sure
yeah.
Manning will help you. out.
So, Mitch, obviously, people listening to this, like, not everyone is probably going to know of you,
No,
but they
that-
will
that
soon.
hurts, but
They
alright.
will soon. I'm telling you
Yeah,
that
no,
right now. No, they
thanks, man.
absolutely will because Kizza and I, we've watched pretty much all of your stuff that's online,
Oh, thanks, man.
and you are really funny.
Thank
Like,
you,
you
bro.
are very funny, and I'm a want to be comedian, to be honest, but I just don't have the spuds to get up and do anything.
Let's do it,
But I
bro.
love writing.
Yeah.
And I love, like, I remember when I was probably from sort of 16, 17, when I started to actually earn money, I would always go and buy DVDs of comedians. So all the
Yeah.
guys like Dylan Moran and like Eddie Izzard and all these guys who actually could really write stuff, I really love. And
Yeah.
that's why I like your stuff, because it's
Thanks,
really well written, and it's got layers that, like, if I watch something with my wife, she's not a comedic person,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but if something's funny, she'll laugh. Where I will kind of go, oh, that's funny because of X, Y, Z. And I reckon you're that. So let me extract my nose from...
You're my, no, it feels good staying in there. Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that's funny you said Dylan Moran, like, because he's definitely a big influence
Yeah.
on me. Just bought tickets to go and see him again.
Yep.
He's coming out. I'm
Yep.
really excited for that. But
One for the pod, Kiz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
easy.
Would he have Instagram? Has he got Instagram?
He
Oh,
would
God,
no,
no,
he
no,
wouldn't.
that's what I believe. Yeah.
I think if you even mentioned Instagram,
Yeah.
he would. There'd be a set
He'd
written
slap
about
you. What?
He'd have 2
What?
hours on anti-Instagram.
He would.
Dude,
Yeah.
I met him once,
Have you?
and it was like, so this is pre me doing comedy.
Yeah.
And it was quite possibly like, you know, that whole "don't meet your heroes,"
Yeah.
yada yada.
Was it that?
It was, but then the more I've thought about it, I was like, what did I expect? It's Dylan Moran.
100%, yeah.
Because it literally. So I was.
Have you not watched Black Book?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's a really good actor. No.
So you had
That's
a
him, yeah.
false idea that he was going to just flick a switch and he goes in and out. But to be that good, you have to kind of live.
There's a
that.
level. There's
Yeah.
a level.
Yeah.
But he was. I think his show was on the Tuesday
Yeah.
at State Theatre, and on the Monday I was just at work at lunch. I was in the line at Subway in the city, and he just walked past the Subway, and I was like,
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
holy fuck!
Yeah,
And I
right.
had this this is the biggest crisis of my life, where I was like, I have half an hour for lunch.
Yeah.
Look at the size of this line. Like this, do I leave this line, try and meet Dylan Moran, and jump back in the line?
Yeah. Hold my spot.
That's really, I was like, I have to go do this. But I went after him, and I was like, oh, excuse me. I was like, you're Dylan. And he was like, yeah, I am. And I was like, oh, I grew up watching Black Books. Like my dad was a massive fan.
Yeah.
I was like, could I get a photo? And he's like, nah, I don't do that sort
Oh,
of
you're
stuff.
kidding.
And I was like, oh, cool. And I go, could you sign something for me? My dad fucking loves him. And he's like, look, I don't really do that, but you have a good day, hey? And then he walked away. And I was like, that was nice, saying good day, having a good day and stuff. But then I was like,
Yeah, you walked away going, he said have a good day.
and it was really, because then my friends from work who were also on lunch, but they were over in the food court near there. They were like, who was that man you were talking to?
Yeah,
And I was like, it's Dylan Moran.
Who was that dishevelled millionaire?
Who was that guy? He was wearing a blazer over a shirt. But I was like, it was Dylan Moran. And they were like, what? And they're running
Freaking
out.
out, yeah.
They're like, don't chase
Don't
him.
expect
Don't chase him, hey, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's insane.
I had a similar experience when I met Hilary Duff.
Oh, don't really.
Why did everyone go quiet? Yeah, did you?
Can I drink this?
You had me.
Yeah, go for it.
Go
I
for
don't
your
wanna- I
life.
don't wanna be icy.
And if you want more, just we've got plenty.
We'll pause it.
There's plenty more where that came from, mate.
I'm like, yeah, don't say that, mate. 'Cause we're gonna it's gonna cut back. And it's gonna be different levels of drinks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like bang, bang.
No, we don't edit.
We
mate.
don't go that far.
We don't edit. We
Good.
just
We roll through.
We roll through it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Don't you worry about that. Cut that out, actually.
Yes.
So,
I
mate,
don't want people to know how much I drink.
give us a
Oh, sorry. I want to hear this Duff. What happened with the Duff?
Yeah,
Sorry, I meant to cut you off,
he's
man.
such a liar.
I was lying.
Oh, is it straight up lie?
That's why the quiet you guys were genuinely interested. I'm like, no, I didn't chase.
Well,
Hilary
for
Duff.
half a beat, I went, oh, and then I saw.
I was like, oh, did you go to the Cheaper by the Dozen premiere or something? She was just a massive.
No.
hit.
Yeah, let's roast him. Let's go.
Mum got cheaper by the dozen 2 tickets, and she's not even in that.
Is she not in? Oh man, I'm not going to watch it now.
I was at Raise Your Voice though, so
Oh,
Really?
man.
Didn't
Why?
you go to the Nikki Webster Dance Academy too?
still do. Not did. This is actually opening up a bit into my life. Last week I referenced the Spice Girls Live in Istanbul VHS that I was given.
Amazing.
As a child, that
Yep.
I wasn't like, get that out of here. Footy, fighting, keep
Yeah.
pies. I was
Kizza-
like, repeat.
Kizza's like the maddest Kardashian fan.
For real.
For real. So he's got this, he's got a Viking beard and
Yeah, but
coaches
also
footy, all this sort of stuff, but yet goes, oh my God.
Vanderpump Rules is probably my
Courtney.
favourite show in the whole world.
Vanderpump's all right.
There you go.
I haven't watched it for a while since I moved.
Since you're a man.
I think my balls dropped.
Yeah.
But is the Kardashian thing? Is it a?
I think Mitch is
is
my
it a-
favourite guest.
technicality, but whatever. Is it a looks thing, or are you genuinely like they're interesting to you?
No, I like to tune out and just watch. It is somewhat. It started as picking on them and just a bit of irony. I'm like, oh my God. Then it was kind of like, geez, they live a good life, don't they? And then it was like, oi, babe, you seen what Courtney just said to Chloe? This is ridiculous. Get in here.
Yeah,
and then, tables are turned. She was watching it now. I'm like, I record it. It's on Series Link. You better be here or you're going to miss out.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It is it is trashy to watch, but it does kind of...
You need that, though.
Your
You
brain
need to
just
zone
Granted,
out.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I catch it every now and then when I years ago, but does Kanye figure in it much?
He's in it now. We
does?
actually run that on one of our earlier pods.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because what was he creating? He goes,
His new dictionary.
He said something. You can listen back to it. But he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to use that word in my new dictionary I'm writing." And we're like,
But no. He also said, Kim said a word and he goes, oh, I don't use that word. That's not in my new dictionary that I'm creating.
Oh yeah, Kanye's the only guy in the world that could genuinely be like, I'm creating a new dictionary, and I know that there's people in the world that will be like, hey, let's start using that new dictionary.
100%.
yeah, 100%. I think that's
Like
why.
legitimately, like I don't know, there probably is other people, but there's so many people that would genuinely be like, I'm just going to use that stuff now.
And that's why
And
they're
that's
so
what Kanye
powerful.
wants.
Yep.
Yeah, and the girls too.
Oh, it's disgusting, but also, fuck what I wouldn't give.
It's weird though. It's a bit of a juxtaposition in it. I like watching it. It's fun to zone out to, but I constantly find myself ranting about they are the epitome of what's wrong with this world and society. But then I'm like, I'm number one fan, so this doesn't work.
Yeah, I've got it on seriously.
Yeah.
But I can't not
Am
watch
I
it.
the issue?
Oh, that's so fun. Hey, so Mitch, give us. Let's go sort of back to where we were. Give us a little bit of a rundown for those who may not know of who you are.
Yep.
Give us a bit of a rundown of sort of how you got to the point where you are now. Because as I said, you are genuinely starting to make some waves in the comedy world. And as I said,
read some reviews of this Cat Daddy. It's pretty positive, actually.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
There's been some nice love out there. Oh man, how did I get here?
So how old are you?
Shit, fuck 30.
You're 30. Okay, so
31 in July.
Okay, so you're our age.
Yeah. So I feel like I was trying to write a bit about that the other day, that you don't, over the age of about 10, you just tell people your age instead of because just then I was like, I'm 31 in July.
Yeah, no.
Which feels like a massive kid thing.
Yeah, what are you,
to
12?
do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
when someone goes, I'm 7, but I'm 8 in July. Just so you know.
That's very true.
And it's like, man, that's...
It's all right, mate.
I don't know why I did that.
You don't need to...
I'm 30.
Yeah,
I'm 30
I
is the
believe you.
answer.
Yeah.
30 years old.
Yep.
So I was... Man, I finished high school 2006.
Yep.
Grew up always loving comedy, acting stuff. Never really did it. Anything to do with that sort of thing. I wanted to do drama in high school. My dad was like, it was on the same line as maths at school. And my dad was like, no, you do maths.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'll come in handy.
But hindsight,
hell of a drug. It's so I guess did all these got out of high school, did all these crappy jobs that I didn't like, and a lot of call centers and all that sort of thing. And I was literally sitting in a call center one afternoon and was just like, I want to start doing like filmmaking stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Had you been doing stuff before that, or you just decided out of the blue?
I'd always wanted to. And
so you obviously would have had an appetite watching shows growing up and go, damn, they got the best job.
You had the fire.
And like I said, always grew up watching comedy, loving stand-up comedy, all that sort of stuff. Would go to it all the time. And then, just one day was like, I want to do filmmaking stuff, and went to TAFE. To TAFE, and thank you, mate. Went to TAFE and studied screen and media. And when I was at the screen and media course, I just started to find myself being more on the front side of the camera. If that makes sense, instead of being behind.
Yep. So you've gone in intending directing, producing, writing.
Yeah. And I can still do that and have done that, but I just found myself wanting to be more on camera.
Yep.
And then the comedy stuff literally started. Still living on the coast. One of my friends, I told him, I was like, I want to start a stand-up comedy room on the coast, and he was like, it would never work, and I just did it to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raised I can't even tell you how many shows we did, but we did raised $40,000 for
and
charity.
What was the show called?
It's called I Am Mike Comedy.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
okay, we know. Yep, I know that.
Wow.
That's you.
Yeah, that's
Sweet.
me. Yeah, so I'm Like Comedy is me. Raised $40,000 for charities, just putting on shows. We had Mikey Robbins and all these people come and do shows for us.
Did you perform?
I emceed. So literally my first gig was emceeing.
With emceeing.
See, is that?
a room
Do you
of-
find that's a nice little segue into the comedy world? Because I've always
100%.
thought that if I ever wanted to do it, I feel like you have the power because the proceedings are based on you. You're bringing people in and off, and you're sort of controlling the tempo and what's going on.
Definitely. I think...
And nothing's expected either.
Yeah, that's it. It gave me a really good in with comedy and comedians.
Yeah.
Looking back, I think now, for the quality of the nights I was putting on, I should, personally, I think I should have paid an MC.
Okay.
Because an MC is so pivotal. I did a good
sure.
job.
Yeah.
But an MC is, they're running the ship.
Yeah.
They're looking after everything.
So did you write comedy before you were an MC? Were you see? Okay, right. So you never wrote. You never the art of creating a joke or sculpting a joke. It wasn't really quite there yet, or was it? Yeah,
no,
right.
not that I don't get me wrong. And I still do it today, where I am analyzing everything for the funny.
Yeah, sure.
But back then, before I even thought about doing comedy properly, it was, that thing that happened was funny.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas I go, that thing that happened was funny. How can I make it funnier? How
Yep.
do I embellish it a little
Yeah.
bit? How can I put it together?
I guess a lot of comedians say, well, Kevin's a good example, but I guess inadvertently you're with a group of mates, you might be like, yeah, but then what about it? You kind of, there's a joke and there's a general laugh and then everyone moves on. But sometimes did you find yourself sort of expanding on, or what happens if this happened, or did a bit of that, just without even think comedy in your head, but you just instinctively
I think that's
built into you?
I think like Australians, especially as well as males, it's that whole just riffing. Like, you know, you
one-upsmanship sometimes, and
100%, dude. Like my friends and I, we can't. If you say a funny thing, like
doesn't stop there.
It's not stopping.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a constant
Yep.
thing of, you know, you like not we're not sitting there going, no, you do one.
Yeah.
And no, you do
No,
one. But it's like I do one, you do one, you do it. Like, oh, someone heard it, they come in and they do one.
right,
you know,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Like I remember
Jono, get in here.
I was like,
What?
I thought Jono. Who's Jono?
This is your life.
That's the cat. It's the cat.
It's happening again. Where's Will? But I guess no, it never really. Before that, I was never like fully.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a comedian or anything like that in the slightest.
Because was there, like, when was the time that you went, oh, okay, I can do this? Like, was it on stage that happened?
I was on stage. I was getting good laughs.
Yep.
All right laughs with stuff that was, you know, not necessarily fully fleshed out.
Yep.
If you will. And I remember one of my friends, a guy called Andrew Barnett. I don't know if you know Andrew.
No, I don't.
If you watch do you watch much NRL stuff?
Yep.
He's plays Barney on the Professor's show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Andrew's like a good friend of mine. MC'd my wedding, like lovely guy.
Okay.
But this is years and years and years ago, I booked him for a gig, and afterwards he was like, "So are you going to do it? How long have you been doing it?" kind of thing, asking me all these questions. I was like, "I've never done it, mate." Like,
yeah, right, okay.
And he's like, "You should do it." And like, I respected him. Like, I'd met him a few times and really liked him, and was like, well, if he thinks I can do it,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
Someone
do
in the
it.
world.
And then another, like I went and watched some comedy one night, and one of my friends was on, and he was talking to another guy, and that guy was like, "Have you done it yet? Like, have you done it?" And I was like, "No." And like, just fucking do it.
How nerve-wracking. Now, because I'm asking this because obviously...
Well, Kevin's notes section in his phone is full of...
Dude, my notes section is disgusting. Like, it's
Not with comedy ideas, is
it?
My photo section is disgusting.
I didn't even know you could put photos in notes, but fuck, they're good photos. Yeah, man, it's... I guess... Yeah, the nerves thing was massive, I remember, because my first gig was at Star Bar in the city.
Yep.
And I asked a bunch of my friends to come, and...
No one turned up.
No, a bunch came.
Did that make it worse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they gave me a false sense of security.
Yeah, okay. Because
Did you bomb?
No, I did good.
Okay.
Like, or not like that's so cocky, but...
No,
like,
I know what you mean.
I did well, but also it's a 40-seater room with 10 of my friends.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I could fucking make fart noises and 10 of my friends would laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch, yeah.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah. And it's funny how if it's a good audience, you know, and you see, even when you watch something on Netflix, if the audience is laughing, it kind of fuels something in your head that goes, "Hey, that's funny. You should have a giggle." And once you have a bit of a giggle, 100%. Then you're off, and you're kind of in the groove of it.
100%. Like, I think I watched. I don't know if you guys have seen it, the newest Kevin Hart special.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And I thought it was a good special. It was a funny special.
Yeah.
But because it was in a stadium, they couldn't record the audience as well as you can record in a comedy club.
Yep. Because it just goes. Doesn't it?
Like, and I felt myself, and even my wife said it. She was like, "I feel like a lot of these points are really flat."
Yeah.
And
it wasn't as well written as his previous one.
Yeah, like, I'd be intrigued to see that show in a comedy club,
proper like a comedy store. Yeah.
How do you think it'd go? Do you think it wouldn't kind of work?
I don't know. He dropped in the Comedy Store the other night.
I know, I saw that.
With Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite depressing because I was on Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week.
Yeah.
And on Wednesday he rocked up.
Oh.
I was like, couldn't put me on Wednesday, guys?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But
I wonder too his writing process now that he is at a different level of stadiums. I know that a lot of them go to stores and go just work it, but I wonder if his writing is affected too. That'd be interesting to find out.
He was talking about
by
that
a stadium.
Rogan.
It's a show now. He's a showman.
Yes.
It's not you know.
Not crafting it with an inch of its life sort of thing.
Yeah. And I was going to compare it to Eddie Murphy in the sense of like, because Delirious and Raw and stuff, they were shows. You know, you look at his outfit, you're like, that's a show.
Yeah.
But Eddie's delirious and raw. They're well thought out. They're proper.
Oh,
not to say Kevin Hart's isn't, but it's not as...
But his was a lot... I don't know. Here's me, who knows absolutely nothing. But for me, like as I said, I'm a fan of comedy. And for me, it was more like he got up there and went, I'm going to do a talk and I'm going to put some emphasis on some bits where I know because of who I am, I'm probably going to be able to get some laughs and kind of ride the wave of it through. But that's kind of my feel of it. Like,
there is a lot of that.
Where his first and second specials, and then obviously his last one being his third, I think, they were killer. Because I think they had to be killer. He was still trying to be someone, a comedian, where I think now he's more like, well, I'm an absolute superstar.
It would be also, I think, pretty hard too for a guy at his level, maybe even Dane Cook in his prime, because he was doing one of this generation do stadiums, where he's got so much to fall back on. He just does that Samuel thing where he's like, I was like, Samuel, flap, and everyone just goes, he's got a few beats he can hit if it's bombing, and that's what a lot of people go for that. Do that thing that you did that time. And he plays to that, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately, I think when you do something in a comedy club, if things do fall flat for some reason, you can chat to people. You can, you can crowd work.
I was going to say, do you do a bit of crowd work?
Yeah. I love it. Like, I love to sort of, like, there's times where, I just cannot be bothered. Yeah. Like, there's just, where people just start talking and I'm like...
Do you read the room before you start to delve into it a bit?
Yeah. Pardon me. 100%.
Do you, with your crowd work, are you someone who... Because I know I think there's two types. Because obviously I've gone and watched you guys playing Tootsies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
Stop it.
It's weird. But keep going.
I shouldn't have said a thing. Because obviously, like, I've gone and watched a lot of shows and things like that. And what I found is there's usually two types. There's usually a comedian that likes to just absolutely destroy someone, or there's someone who likes to give like backhanded compliments. Yeah. So that the room kind of gets on board. Because I found that if people will destroy a person, the room can like just turn.
Yeah, 100%. I won't destroy unless... can I say destroy? But
unless the room...
I won't go at them unless that person is being an alpha.
Okay, cool.
Like...
Just being a bully.
It's the... it's...
Have you got some stories on that?
I'm talking about... Like, I remember this one... Like, so there's a bunch of guys... And one guy's mouthy as hell, and it's the kind. They remind me heaps of the hyenas in The Lion King. Where one guy says something, the other three go. Buck, buck, buck.
Okay, that's so funny, man. Sure.
Like,
good one, Dave.
So I was like, if I can get this guy, the rest of the herd will shut the fuck up.
Yeah, sure.
Essentially, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like, "You have a shit shirt." And I was like, you destroyed me, bro. I am ruined. That's crazy. Yeah. And then I had a pen in my pocket, and I just happened to remember I had it, and I got it out, and I wrote in my hand, and I go, what's your name? And he's like, it's Dave.
I like it already. I like it already.
What's your name? And he's like, Dave. And I go, that's all right. I go, excuse me, Dave. I'm just adding you to the list of fuckwits that I've met. And
love it.
They just fucking loved it.
Yeah, love it.
And he just shuts down. The friend shuts down. And then they shut up and they're laughing and having a good time.
Yeah, that's good.
But there's that's a little thing. Like there's so much where you can...
Then I jumped in the crowd and I stabbed him.
See, my brain
killed Dave, and I'm glad to be out on day release today. It's good fun.
Because my brain instantly goes, well, man, I can change my shirt. And then I just pull out the features of his face and just start to discuss that with the crowd.
It's the worst too. YouTube
but that's the worst part of me.
Yeah, YouTube is littered with heckler takes on comedian. It's like, dude, they do this for a job. Yeah. They've got so much ammo. You've taken a knife, literally do like a bazooka fight.
Well, there's comedians that start to get known as, if you heckle, like Jimmy Carr. Yeah. If you heckle, then it's sort of known that he will just destroy. Like
I'd say even like D'Elia.
D'Elia's brilliant.
He's savage, is he?
Like, I think because end of the day, like, D'Elia's one of those guys where he's just so fucking thankful. He's up there, he's having fun, he's having a great time.
But he's an alpha too.
Yeah.
He's such an alpha. Yeah.
But then someone tries to be negative, like they're trying to bring down...
Yeah.
And because he's thinking like, I'm having fun, this is the best, this is great.
Silly goose.
He's happy that everybody else is having fun.
Yep.
And then some fucking guy just arcs up and he'll just
ruining
be like...
it.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking, bro? Like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in terms of the crowd work stuff, I don't like to just destroy them.
Yeah.
I'll always have a chat to them. You know, a little backhanded compliment, that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
cool.
Nothing great. Like there's, I just kind of, I want to loosen them up. I'll come out and there's always some middle-aged dude,
Yeah.
middle-aged lady,
Yep.
arms crossed,
Yep.
like that. And I'm like, if I can break them down,
Yeah,
then-
you got to earn my laugh almost instead of
Dude.
where everyone just goes, "Oh, this is fun."
that's the difference between so many different places, man. Like, I mean, doing gigs up here, you can get a lot of you get a lot of open-minded people,
Yep.
but up here you do get a lot of arms folded,
Yeah.
Definitely.
impress me,
Yeah,
Oh,
sort of
really?
thing. As
it's a
opposed
small
to
town mindedness, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
maybe.
right.
and then there's some elements in the city where people just go, let's see what this guy has. Like, let's just see what
Yeah,
happens.
okay.
And then you go to another place, like, you know, you head out a bit more west, and it's a bit 50-50.
Yeah, if you don't have a van Commodore, you're no one.
That's it. Yeah, if you rock in enclosed shoes, they're like, what a nerd.
Well, you think better than me or something, do you, mate?
That's pretty much it, man.
Easy. We get most of our downloads from Macquarie Fields area, so
Yeah, shout out,
Come on,
shout out to
guys.
the guys.
So, like, have you, you know, how long have you been doing comedy now for, like, seriously, like, really trying to make a craft of it?
oh man, for 4 years.
Yep.
I've been doing it for 6.
Okay, wow.
Been doing
'Cause
it for
it's-
6, and so like I did my first gig in May 2013.
Yep.
So just under 6 years. No, just over 6 years. Sorry, it's June. Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, did my first gig May 2013, and then I don't think I did another one until like August.
Yep.
Didn't do another one until October.
Do you still get nervous?
Some stuff, yeah.
Like for example, your new show, Cat Daddy. Go and check it out, guys.
Go and check it out. Thank you. I did first night
Sure.
where I was like, but my nerves come from, am I gonna run over?
Oh.
okay.
Am I gonna? Because I think this is my biggest problem. My wife says this to me all the time, is that I have the show planned, and if for some reason something happens where I forget a line,
Yep.
or I go from one bit into the next and miss a bit, I immediately start going like, you fucking idiot.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Whereas I come off and my wife goes, you know, the audience doesn't know how the show's
Yeah,
supposed
exactly,
to go.
yeah.
That's good advice, isn't
They
it?
had a great time.
Yeah.
Like, they've laughed. They've had a good time.
Be like
Chill
a
out.
rock star missing one chord in a 2-hour show at Wembley. It's like no one knows that.
That's it.
But
man.
obviously that
And
says a
even
lot
then,
about
I was
you.
improvising.
That says a lot about you trying to just deliver a really good quality
Yeah,
product.
I just want to. That's it, man. Like,
Yeah.
And I guess, like I was saying before, I did that dry run where it's 35 minutes, and you know I'm then working. Like I spent fucking so long on that show,
Yeah.
and so long on other shows, where to then only be doing it for 5 nights is sometimes a bit of an anticlimax.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And I just want it to be perfect for those 5 nights.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm the one that's in control of that.
Yeah.
So if I can, I don't know, if I can make it better. But then I'm just so fucking negative with, I'll miss one line and I'll be like, oh, I missed that line. And my wife Lou will be like, just shut up, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, but do you know what lines you didn't miss? The other 59 minutes.
And everyone's rolling on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
But look, I think like I really connect with that, with what you're saying, because I tend to look. We were only talking about this afternoon, weren't we, on the way home? I do tend to look at, oh fuck, that is the negative, and I'll focus on that, and I'll forget about all the actual good stuff.
That's it.
So I connect with that.
Dude, there's like, and I think you hear about things like, you know, dudes playing Origin and stuff where they have fucking man of the match performance and then
Yep.
go home and go, oh, but you know,
Missed that
that
tackle.
fucking tackle I missed
Yeah,
that led to
yeah,
the
yeah.
try. And it's like, mate, you're man of the match. Like, I'm not saying I'm man of the match of comedy, but
Well,
like,
We
do you know
can,
what I mean?
we can
Like,
say it.
thank
We
you,
can say
appreciate
it.
that.
You're the bloody man of the match of this podcast, mate. I'll tell you that.
Thank
It was
you.
a comedy of 2 halves, and full credit to the boys.
Full credit to the boy, just one boy. Just
that
me.
boy is me.
But yeah, dude, I completely.
Yep.
Do you go in with a not sounding arrogant, but because you've done it for a while now and you're crafting it and you're at a certain level, do you go in with a little bit of an arrogance, knowing I know the content, what I've written is fine, and I know it's going to get laughs, but I just have to hit my beats and I'll be sweet?
I think.
Or you freak out and think, oh, will they love this? Or
No, I'm not. Every set is planned. Like, you know, I'm going to the Comedy Store tonight, and I've been there the last 2 nights, and I already know what I'm going to do.
yeah,
But when the show starts, you know, if, you know, they're an older crowd or something, maybe I'll lose the joke about masturbation. Like,
Yeah.
I won't do that joke because the older crowd, maybe they're not
Talk
into it.
about
But
the interest rate cut and how that's really
that's
hurting the pension at the moment.
Talk about my super.
Yeah.
Like what petrol goes in my mower, all that sort of stuff. You know. But
What do you use? Do you use the E10? Oh, sorry. I was asking
Well,
about
it depends, mate, because if it's the old two-stroke, you need to make sure you got the right balance of oil.
You guys are really good actors, man. I keep biting to like bits you guys are doing. Like when Jono was here, and I was like, "Fuck Jono, this is so good. Where is he?" You did the E10 thing, and I was like, getting ready to think. I was like, "What do I use?"
And he thinks I like Hillary Duff.
He's like genuinely going, do I use E10?
No, I got an electric mower actually.
No.
The small house, I don't fucking.
Electric mower, jeez.
But
So, sorry, getting back to the other thing, because we've actually spoken and joked where Kevin's, like we said, his notes is full of just jokes and he's crafty and he bounces them off me. We literally said to each other, well, I said to him and he goes, yeah. I said, man, just drive 2-3 hours north, find an open mic night and do it and no one will see you. And he's like, fair idea. Like, that's how, not petrified, but that's how daunting it can be. It's like, don't want anyone to see.
Yeah.
Where you went the other way, you had 10 people and...
yeah, I think I needed that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted. I'm as dumb as it sounds. Some people can go into a shell of
Yep.
things, like like you're saying. I'll drive 3 hours north and just fucking test it. But I want that slap on the back.
I think I'm that. I think I'm
Yeah.
that guy. I think I'm that. I think I need to be slapped on the back.
And that's true to a lot of comedians,
Yeah.
the positive reinforcement after, I guess.
Yeah,
Like
dude, 100%. And honestly, I'll say this: with you guys doing the pod, I think your confidence will go through the roof.
Yeah.
To the point of, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And just do it.
Yeah.
Like, there's an open mic night at the Sailing Club
Yeah.
in Gosford. There's open mics in Newcastle, open mics in Sydney.
Yeah.
Like, you could jump up tonight if you wanted to.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't want to make this about me, obviously.
I know.
well,
but-
it is, and that's
but-
why he's here.
I mean, that's why you guys paid me that $5,000 for the masterclass. I'm the whisperer.
Yeah, you gave him a check, didn't you? Boy, yo, 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 yo. But yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, I really enjoy the process of seeing something that's funny and writing something, or seeing something that everyone would go, oh, why didn't I think of that? Or something where you can just left turn it, And, and I said I write a lot of stuff, and I tell Kizza, and he'll have a good giggle, and he'll be like, whatever, blah blah blah. But it's that point of going. I think the thing for me is going, well, is it actually funny?
Yeah, nothing makes me happier than sitting at home or driving home from a gig or something like that, thinking of something, like a stupid idea, something or seeing something happen to me, and I go, fuck, that could be a bit.
Yep.
I'll remember that. Going home, working on it for a bit, and then doing it and hearing the audience laugh.
Yeah.
They're not all immediate fucking love. Like, you got to tweak them and stuff, obviously.
Yep.
Pardon me. But there's stuff where, literally, it just seems to work.
Do you write exclusively off stage, or will you kind of do a little bit of ad-libby stuff? You might think of something on stage and go, oh fuck, there's a vein of something I need to go down.
Yeah, it's not so 100% the premises and I guess the meat of everything comes from writing at home or writing at work or whatever. And then like some of the taglines that I'll use, or even in act outs, like a bit of I'm doing this thing at the moment about when my wife was in labour and the midwife asked me if I had a push present for my wife, and I was like, what is a push present? Like, could you just, like, first of all, can you tell me what a push present is?
Yeah.
And the lady was like, just get your wife a present for pushing the baby out.
Yep.
And on the first night of Cat Daddy at the festival, I was like, okay, I'll go get one. Is that like a vending machine situation? Like, what is that? And all my friends were like, that was so funny, that vending machine. I was like, fuck, that's not even a joke, all right? Something I just improvised, and I was like, which also hurts at the same time, because you're like, I just said that.
But also
now
maybe
it's in the run.
But maybe the subconscious needs to be given some credit. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, end of the day, I still said it. I still came up with it.
Yeah.
But
claim
like,
mine. I said that. It's mine. Yeah.
Done. But yeah.
Geez, I just went and got diamonds.
You did, didn't you?
I did.
Is this another act out? Am I?
No, you got the...
No, legitimately got diamonds. Yeah.
Oh.
I went and got her some diamonds. And the second one was...
Yeah, but he got her a
more
joke,
diamonds.
so...
More, yeah,
he got a joke, and that's lasts forever. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, joke. That's recorded. I've got nothing.
Yeah, man, I think not to not to keep coming back to it, but I think all I can say to you is just do it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need, like, don't listen to me. Like, live your own life. But
Yeah.
Go 2 hours up north if you want to, or go to the sailing club.
That's the thing, and it's like, and you're definitely not here for us to go, give me advice, because it's about you. And we want to talk to you about, because obviously you're doing very well at the moment, and it's that's the thing that I know. The advice will be, just fucking do it, mate. Like, just stop procrastinating. If you've got some gear, just go and do it. You know, so
and you'll learn very quickly if it's workable.
Well, it's I said to Kizza, because obviously when we do our pod, like, we do some segments and we talk about bits, like funny things that we've seen, and it's kind of a bit of an outlet to actually kind of practice some bits.
Definitely, that's 100%. Yeah,
and you learn very quickly when you're actually talking it. It's kind of like Twitter. Because you're limited to a certain amount of, letters, words, you can't fill it with the guff.
Yeah.
And I think that's a thing that once you're there and the idea is coming out of your head, you will quickly cut out certain things going, well, that's not funny at all.
That's it. There's so many things in my phone that I write them down as though they are going to be tweets or statuses on my Facebook page. And then I end up just putting a little bit more meat in them, and they become stage stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
So it's like, I'm trying to think of an example, but no, I can't. But just something that's so basic.
Yep.
But if I add a bit more here, draw this out, do a bit of an act out here.
Yeah.
It's that's less of an observation, like a witty observation, but then a bit of a beginning, middle, end, flesh it out a bit.
That's it. Less of a like someone looking at it going like, oh, nostalgia, or that's like fun.
Well, you've probably learnt too with your 6 odd years of experience that there's certain things that are common through us all, that that, okay, there's a certain beat that I can deliver something that on paper it's not going to read funny, but the way you can say it, the way you can deliver it, if you just hold an extra half beat and look at someone in the crowd, a certain, like you mentioned Dalia before, the most expressive face on the planet Earth.
Yeah, and such a gift for someone to have. And I think, you're right. Like, it's only 6 years experience, which sounds fucking crazy in comparison to, most people.
Yeah.
But you find who you are, you find your voice.
Yeah.
And even in the last sort of 18 months, I have really found my persona, like stage persona.
Well, that's one thing I actually had written down here as a question. Like, not just who were your influences, because I think that's probably a bit of a lazy question, to be honest, but more of like a who were the guys that maybe you tried to be a little bit like in the early days? Because I don't think anyone's going to get up to an open mic and go, I know who I am, and this is who I am, and I'm very comfortable. Like, I think there'd have to be a certain element to, I'm going to try and maybe have a little bit of a persona like XYZ.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think that's such a interesting question.
I thought he was going to say good question.
Interesting is good.
Interesting. No, because interesting is thought-provoking.
Yes.
So you take that, man.
One to me, Kizza.
Absolutely. That's what. One. We'll see how you go, man. But I think 6 years ago, man, I guess even what I was watching comedy-wise is so different to now. Because 6 years ago, I was, watching whatever kind of, let's say 10 years ago, 10 years to 6 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
Trying to watch whatever kind of special I could get my hands on that was on a DVD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you're watching Carl Barron, Akmal, even
Hughesy
Eddie
back
Murphy,
then.
Hughesy, Will Anderson, that sort of thing.
Did you watch
Dylan Moran, that sort of stuff?
Did you get into, because one of the guys I got into and I just found was fucking hilarious was Russell Brand.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Went and saw Russell twice, actually, when he came out to Australia.
Yep.
Was really into it, really obsessed, loved that. Yeah, I don't know if any of them particularly shaped me as such.
Yeah.
I think these days I do find myself having some form of Tom Segura-esque things, where Segura's style and I, not similar at all. Fuck, he's a god. But just his things of he'll sort of be talking and then he'll just go like, bah!
Yes.
Or And
Even your blah then was very Segurish.
yeah. And like I was talking about this thing on stage where my wife told me that she was pregnant at the food court.
Oh yeah,
That's what she told me.
yeah.
And I was like, because she was like, "Do you want to get some lunch?" kind of thing. You should go get some lunch. And,
By the way, I'm pregnant.
but that's pretty much what. And I was
Yeah.
like, "What did you think I was that one-dimensional that you could just give me some lunch
Yeah.
and a drink?"
Hey, babe,
And then
chicken
just-
pad thai. P.S. I'm pregnant. Do you want water
That's
or?
literally it, man. Literally, like satay chicken.
That a boy, I love that.
Had a satay chicken and a Pepsi Max.
Nice.
And but in my show, like I was like, I hate that she thinks I'm that one-dimensional, that she can just be like,
Yep.
"Here's a satay chicken." Like, "Oh, you're having a baby? That's okay. Nom nom nom."
Yeah.
And then the other day,
I've got a food baby myself, love.
Yeah, well, it's fucking twins, bro. But, I was watching a Segura special the other day with my wife, and she was like, "That's very like you."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yep.
"Don't say that." But I was like, because I'm very like him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
a Netflix god. Like,
Yeah,
comedic god,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the very sort of to just go from chatting to
Yes.
or bikes or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yep.
so I think these days definitely shaped a lot by. But I find myself, I think I'm very shaped by the style of Bert, like Kreischer.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
love.
Do you go shirtless?
No, fuck, imagine Aussie Bert. I love telling stories,
Yeah. Cool.
and if I can have 30 in, let's say a 10-minute story, if I can have 30 or 40 points in that story where it's a beat to make
Yep.
someone laugh,
Yep.
I'm like, I'd rather do a 10-minute story than a 10-minute set of 10 different jokes.
Yeah.
I think, and that really only works with festival stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you can, but like, I closed my festival show with this story about the night my friends and I got arrested, and it's like, I don't want to ruin it, but it's like essentially, we are falsely accused for like attempted murder.
Oh shit!
It's fucking just
That
Lucas,
went.
and I'll leave that hook there. Come see Cat Daddy July 13.
We'll be right back, guys.
Thanks very much.
Casper mattresses.
But yeah, so but in that story is like there's all these beats throughout the story. Like the story goes for 10 minutes ish. There's all these beats, and again, yeah, I'd rather like if I said to the Comedy Store tonight, like I want to just do this 10-minute story. Like I don't know how they'd feel, but I wish I could just get up and do that tonight.
Yeah,
but it's part of a showcase. Like they wouldn't really want me to just get up. And
How long is Cat Daddy?
Hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you found within the community, and like you're saying, you're hosting nights and things like that, have you found that, I guess we're a similar age, I grew up pre-Netflix and YouTube and that. Like I was taping, do you remember The Panel with Rob Sitch? I used to adore that, and we talk about the Glass House with Will Anderson. That's where I used to get it. And then I remember one night, American Rosso hosted this one night only on 9, and it had all these comedians come on. None of massive note, but it was just like, whoa, this is amazing. Now you can just look at YouTube, Netflix, Stan especially got a lot of Australian specials, as you're probably well aware. But have you found that kids at, say, early 20s as opposed to someone in the early 30s or older, it's different what they do, like how they go about it? They just sit in their bedroom, write something, and then they expect to be straight to the Comedy Store, or do you?
Yeah, definitely. There's a level of that. I think interesting point of what you were going to say, like you're loving The Panel, you're loving the Glass House, that sort of thing. Man, every year I looked forward to the gala on Channel 10 or ABC, whoever was having it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, the gala is like the epitome. Like this is so good. You see all these overseas acts, people that are killing it, and like I watched the gala this year for the first time in probably 5 years.
I'm the same.
I used to watch it religiously.
Yeah.
Like look forward to it, and that's just how we've changed.
Yeah.
Because I could put
that was your what do we call it? That was your fix. That gala, wasn't it? Like
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
And these days, there's so many people on the gala that I love, but I could turn on ABC iView or
at any point,
anything else and watch them do an hour.
True.
That sort of thing. So I think it's definitely more accessible, which is great. Some of the levels are lower than what it used to be, I think, but then some of the levels are skyrocket.
Yeah, because they've got a lot to draw on to make it much better. Yeah,
and some of the new specials, like some of the newer specials, like Segura's newest one. I can't even think off the top of my head anymore. Goddamn. Nate Bargatze's newest special, man. Like, I just James Acaster, if you've seen them. Like, I just walked away and literally was like, "What am I doing? Like, I'm never going to be that good."
Level. Yeah, okay.
Which is good because it pushes you. But,
yeah. Do you have anyone who has mentored you?
I guess.
Or is that something that's even in the comedy world?
It definitely is. Like, there's a young guy from Newcastle called Elliot Stewart who I emceed a gig up there one night, and then he messaged me and was asking me for advice and stuff, and we become very close. He's very, very good. He made it to Raw Comedy Final this year, so he'll be on ABC.
Wow, nice.
A month or two. He's very good. Yeah, he definitely has that sort of thing where, like you were saying before, where I'm not just saying like he's a fucking great guy, but I think the younger generation have that like, well, I've been doing it for 6 months now. Like, where's my special?
Yeah, sure.
And it's not like Elliot's not like that, but there's people like when I did a show in Gosford at Christmas time, like just did a Christmas show.
Yep.
Put on a bunch of acts that I really liked, and someone that I'd heard of that was doing really well, but had only been doing comedy for not very long. Was like, "Oh, so is it a paid gig?" And I was like, "Oh, come on."
Oh, really?
Right.
Like,
okay.
I'm not saying like we all deserve to be paid, but that's
Sure.
We've all paid our dues. Like,
Sure.
I got here by doing so much free shit. Like, I still do free stuff.
You
Like,
hear that a lot with the American comedians. People do it for about a year, especially Mark Maron, because he's just really zeroes in on this stuff. But they'll do it 9 months to a year and be like, "So let's talk about that sitcom." That used to be the progression. Like, you'd go on the road, you'd get to a level, and then you get your sitcom. But he goes, no, it doesn't just work like that. We've got like Raymond and Seinfeld had 20 plus years to like earn the right, and they were like a select few, and your Jon Stewart's or whatever. It just doesn't happen. But now they're all with Netflix and things like that, Hulu and that. It's just like, I've been doing it a year. So do I get a Tonight Show? Do I get like a special?
Yeah, and I think there's America obviously very different to here.
Yeah, definitely.
But dude, there's like do you guys know Nate Bargatze, like the guy that I mentioned before?
I've seen his stuff. I don't know much of it.
If you watch that special, it's really, really good. But I was listening to him on a podcast. I can't remember if it was Theo's podcast or somebody else, but he was saying like that he's just had a what's the word? Fuck, I don't even think a sitcom series green lit. And Theo was like, I haven't even been working on a few, and he's like, yeah, man, I've had like 8 or something.
Yeah, they get the pilot out there.
Green lit, and then it just falls apart or lose backing or yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I think there's definitely things like, a lot of sort of YouTube-y based people would be getting a lot more sort of offers, especially, after a year, that sort of thing in the States.
Yeah.
Here's very different. Like, people pay their dues and then get what they deserve. Like, you look at like Matt O'Kine, who, been doing comedy for ages.
That show he did I smashed it. I thought it was brilliant.
It's so good. Season 2's out really soon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So it's he's paid his dues, worked on Triple J for ages, gets a show, deserves it, kills it. So I think our generation, because he's sort of similar age to me, maybe a year or two older, our generation definitely still very grounded and know what it is. But I think younger people like are already just looking for like.
I've been doing comedy.
Easy. I've been doing comedy 6 months. Should I start a YouTube channel?
But
you don't need to.
This is what happens though when you give people who come in second, the award that's the same as first, and
and everything
all that
is
sort of stuff.
Everybody had a good time, and that's what was important. And it's like, no, like if you're, I hate to say it, but if you're the best, then be the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't, there's definitely cases of. People that are sort of middle of the rung comics who would even admit themselves, and then they work really hard, and then they become better, and then yada yada yada. But you can't just expect to be
straight in there 6 months.
Where's my Netflix special?
What's your sort of plan? Do you have one? Do you have something that you sort of think, okay, a couple of years, 5 years, whatever?
Yeah, look, I go through so many different stages, man, where I will
Want to host Better Homes and Gardens.
Want to host Better Homes and Gardens, and Rob Palmer is on. Rob Palmer's on 2GO
That's
now,
right, yeah.
so he'll get me in there, and then I'll just never do anything
Griggsy's
ever again.
dead. She's gone.
Griggsy's gone. It's so weird. I went and had lunch with my mum and my auntie the other day, and my auntie brought her friend, and she's like, just a nice old lady.
Yeah.
And then after the lunch, my mum's like, "Oh, that's Joanna Griggs' mum."
Oh, really?
And I was like, "The fuck wouldn't you open?" with
Couldn't you
that?"
tell by the shoulders?
Yeah, she kept swimming. It was weird. But I was like, well, tell me that at the start of the conversation, Mum, so I can ask her Joanna Griggs.
Can I get her daughter's number? Because I'm going to send her some messages threatening her job that I'm
That's
taking
yeah.
in 6 weeks.
I'm on the way to BH&G.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
close. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, man, I forgot what the question was.
In
Yeah,
terms
sorry
of like,
about that.
your own,
I like the riff, but
your own goal. Like, do you have
sorry,
TV? Do you have something? Do you have do you want to write something? Like, what's your Kizza's? One of your favorite questions is if say Channel 10 or something came to you and said, "Hey, here's like an open-ended checkbook.
yeah,
You can create literally whatever you want."
yeah.
Like,
Yes, a variety show like a
Yeah.
Rove or stand-up, sitcom, drama.
It would be a middle of the. It'd be similar to what O'Kine did,
Okay.
like the other guy, where it's funny but it has serious stuff.
Okay.
Yada yada yada.
plenty of sex scenes.
So many
Yep.
sex scenes, like you wouldn't
Yep.
believe the sex scenes, but just solo ones. Mate. But I've been writing a thing. I wrote a thing about because my dad got diagnosed with cancer in 2016.
Yep.
And then I proposed to my wife, yada yada. We had our wedding, and then like 2 months after our wedding, my dad died. So I wrote this whole thing about that time in my life. Like
That would be surreal. The ecstasy of marriage and all that. Wow.
And just kind of having this, like, not to bring the mood down, but trying to like having a fucking time bomb.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I need to get him to the wedding.
For sure.
Like that sort of thing. So I've written a thing about that in my life and yada, yada,
Okay,
yada.
yeah.
And like I'm always writing, like there's always ideas. I think if Channel 10 gave me the checkbook, it'd be something like that.
Yeah,
I
cool.
don't know if it would work on Channel 10.
So something that's got some lulls in it, but also kind of gets you a
art,
bit in there.
yeah, which is what I think O'Kine did with the other guy. I think there's a lot of stuff that does the letdown on ABC.
Yep.
Very, very funny, but also has the connection.
That's what Harley Breen's new special, or not special, but Taboo. That's such a fascinating, that's
Brilliant.
a brilliant idea. It's hard to get your head around, and some people it'll be divisive. But I just thought whoever took over Channel 10 has started this whole pilot week thing.
Yep.
And yeah, you do have Cole Sandilands doing that judge show,
Yeah.
which is horrific. But
Yeah.
then you get someone like. It's Harley Breen, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he creates this, and it's hard, it's confronting, it's just brilliant. So, yeah, it's good that they're starting to do.
Well, that pilot week thing I think was very good for. I guess it's good to have things like the three that got picked up were Kinney Tonight, Taboo, and Rove Show.
That's right. Yeah.
And one of my close friends, Alex, works on Rove Show.
Okay.
Taboo is Harley, like really fucking good comedian, and to take that on, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Kinney Tonight is like Troy Kinney, he's super funny, and
he's
like the
hilarious.
whole cast that they've got for that show is great. Like
Yeah.
I watched it the other night, and it's just good for Australian comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
end of the
so many
day,
writers.
We've needed it.
Yeah.
We've really needed it. Because a lot of the time Australian comedy has been fucking cringe.
cringe, and the last few years, and this, I'm not saying this is a negative thing in whatsoever, but in terms of Australian comedy, I think one of the biggest credits at the moment is writer on the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And, a lot of my friends do that, and that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yep.
But to me, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
I don't blame you. Either do I.
Well, don't do it.
I'll do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
What do they pay?
Honestly,
I'm not
sorry I said that. I will do it.
I'm
But,
not-
but like, I mean, that's not my end goal.
No.
And that's not their end goal either. But, that's...
But you need projects, don't you? You need different projects. Tonight shows, the project serves a purpose.
Yep,
Tonight
100%.
shows, comedy, drama, like all that sort of stuff to keep our writers going. And the only way you create better content, but better things, one-upping each other, is to have a massive, like a vast amount of shows going at once. And then you sort of, they're doing that, I'm going to do this, and you start up, sort of.
Yeah.
thing.
And I guess what you've seen with your own show, obviously that'll get picked up because it's going to be brilliant. You've seen a couple of serious actors sitting over here.
Fuck, man. You guys will be high.
Did you see that petrol bit I did? I got you.
Oh, man. Sorry, my wife's here. What does she want? Sorry.
That's all right. That's all good. Kizza, I reckon we'll get a call up for a show just quietly.
No biggie.
Sorry about that, guys.
We could do a sketch of in the old home, reminiscing the days of the lawnmowers, what fuel we used to run in it.
Oh man, yeah, shit. That's you got me good, bro. It's like
I fouled a plug, Brian. I fouled a plug. I didn't. You didn't have enough oil in it, mate. I'm telling you right now.
What level are you cutting the grass at, mate? Like,
you don't want to go too short, mate. Promotes root growth.
And then there's 10 minutes then riffing on root growth.
I haven't had a bit of root growth for many years, mate. I'll give you the drum.
No, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate I think it would be good to do. I just need to flesh it out properly and then get it in the right hands. I think.
Hey, I know you've got to bounce in a second.
Shortly, give me 10.
Cool. I want to ask you, what were your thoughts on the Hannah Gatsby, the net thing?
I think a lot of people it seemed to divide a lot of people.
Yeah. Do you think it was literally just simply labelled wrong?
Look, I liked it.
I thought it was a good show.
Yeah,
I didn't find it funny at all. To be really honest.
Yeah.
But I thought, I always look at things. What if I did it? What if I was up there doing it?
Would I be happy with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty good. Honestly, I thought, hey, this is a really good show.
Yeah.
But I definitely wouldn't have called it stand-up.
Right. I don't think it was... Yeah, it's kind of divisive because there's so many different levels of what stand-up is and yada, yada, yada.
I was going to say, do you find comedy stand-up subjective, or, no, you stand there, you deliver, or do you find that is classed as stand-up, or...
There's so many different things, because, I mean, you can look at, then there's, there's people that do, I'm trying to think, sketch stuff and miming things and yada, yada, yada. Is that stand-up comedy? It's comedy. Yeah. But it's not that stand-up.
Yeah.
I guess...
Stand and deliver.
I feel like that's where people kind of got lost or angry with the... Not angry, that's not the right word, but lost with the Hannah... Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Lost with the Hannah Gadsby thing.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a show. It had a great message. It had... it was interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Was it laugh out loud at times? There was definite bit, but it was a message to me.
Yeah, right.
And it was I've watched it twice because I watched it by myself and I watched it because my wife wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an interesting one. It's I don't know Hannah personally or anything like that.
Hannah.
Got me again. Jono, bring Hannah out. But
and the whippersnapper.
Don't trip over that mower.
But for all I can say, credit to her for that.
Yeah.
Oh man, in my show last year, I did delve into the stuff with Dad.
Yep.
And because it was called Tell Someone Who Cares, and it was about...
That's a cool name.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So I just remember that whole burn in high school where someone would say something and you'd be like,
Tell
Tell Someone Who Cares.
Yeah.
There's moments where, not on stage, I wasn't choking up or anything, but I'd be like, oh fuck, how am I going to talk about this tonight? I'm just not in the mood.
Heavy.
Yep.
And you just power through it. But if I credit, she's gone through... That's been her experience her whole life.
Yeah, for sure.
To then do it on stage, fuck, credit, absolute credit. That's all I can say.
Do you we'll start to kind of wrap things up a little bit now. I wanted to ask you, it's a little bit of a silly question.
Yes.
Do you believe in any conspiracies?
Oh.
Or do you subscribe to any conspiracies?
Are we talking
Flat Earther?
Flat Earther, no.
Good.
JFK, fucking oath.
Yes,
well and truly.
What about, say the moon landing, for example.
Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, I believe that they might have gone there, but I know they definitely faked a lot of a lot of stuff.
Was it Theo that was talking about it the other day where he said he met Buzz Aldrin?
And he goes, I looked at him in his eyes. He didn't look like a man that had been to the moon.
And I feel like that's very, like, it's a funny bit, but it's that's so true. Like, man, if I went to the fucking moon, like, you would never, like, I'd be on my deathbed and I'd be like,
yes.
Last words, I went to the moon. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, and granted, I'm talking from my perspective of someone who hasn't been to the moon and then dealt with it for 50 years of people going, did you go to the moon or not? Like,
well, we have, and we can tell you now, right now.
It's not good.
Do you guys want your tinfoil hats?
We went to the dark side of the moon.
Oh, man.
And if you play the Beatles Abbey Road backwards, it says something. Jesus, guys.
Yeah, see that?
Yeah.
Man.
The JFK is a good one, though, because it's...
JFK's
I just think that's a cover-up more than a conspiracy. It's like, it's very obvious.
Well, the conspiracy is the cover-up, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's... Yeah, that's a pretty...
I feel like that comes from my year 11 modern history class,
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
like if, you know, if for some reason I had to study the moon landing or something like that, I'd probably have more of a thought. But I just remember JFK because that Oliver Stone movie is like 3 hours.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yep.
And we would, you know, we had to watch it and we'd go into class. You know, by the time you get in class, set up the TV, settle down everyone, yada yada. You watch 40 minutes of it. Then the next class starts like in a couple of days' time, and the teacher goes, "Where were we up to?" And you go, "Oh, we were like 30 minutes in."
Yeah.
So then you
Kev,
watch
stop
that
jumping out
for
the window.
30. You watch that for 30 minutes.
Did they wheel that video in on that stand?
100%.
As soon as you knew that came in, that was. It's like
like in the like it's the VHS in the fucking TV.
Well,
thing.
Kizza and I were talking on a couple of podcasts back.
Yeah.
And we were talking about school, and I was saying that the unwritten law was if a teacher didn't turn up within the first sort of few minutes, fucking bounce, and you would just bail, and it was the unwritten law. And I said to kids, like, you'd be in the middle of the quad, the teacher would come and get you, going, no, fuck off, I'm scratching a stussy sign into this table.
That's so funny. So I literally have a bit about that, about the 15-minute rule.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, I can't remember the joke now. Jesus. But it's literally along the lines of like, I wish that 15-minute rule from high school or any school, mainly high school, not primary school, that your teacher's there all day. But high school, 15 minutes, if the teacher's not there legally, you can leave. And I just wish that was a rule for life now. Like if my boss rings me and goes, mate, I'm going to be 15 late, and I'll be like, well, TikTok, motherfucker.
You better skate.
It's an early
It's like the equivalent to like the 3-second food rule.
Yeah.
It's like, 3 seconds, it'll be fine.
It's fine.
15-minute school rule, I'm out of here. See you guys.
See you later.
Free period.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to the quad.
Well, mate, we've got to say thank you so much. We really, really appreciate having you on. You've been really fun. I've actually enjoyed picking your brain.
Thanks,
We've talked about some good stuff. Where can everyone find you?
So on the socials.
That's getting you uncomfortable with saying that. You were like,
yes, we're
the same. We're at the age where it's still a bit awkward to say socials.
It is. I'm not. Yeah.
I've just gotten used to Insta.
I say gram. I'm on the gram.
The gram. Yeah.
I'm on the gram. So, which I hate as well now that I've said it. But I'm on the gram at Mitch Garling, Facebook, Mitch Garling, and then on Twitter at Snitch Garling.
Good one.
That's very clever.
Snitch Garling. But
snitchy Mitches get stitches.
That's it. Snitches get some. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's been a lot of fun. And,
before we let you go,
yes.
You're our first guest, so it's not something we do regularly, but a through line for us would be recommend something for everyone listening that you've heard, something, probably the greatest thing or the best thing you've listened or watched lately. So have you a movie, band, stand-up, book,
podcast.
It's a good episode. I hate to go back to it again.
Yep.
I've done it like 3 or 4 times. I think I have a little man crush on him at the moment. But Nate Bargatze.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
The Tennessee Kid on Netflix.
No, it's good. I hadn't heard of it. So
far out. And he did the stand-ups. So he has a half an hour special on season 1 of the stand-ups on Netflix.
Okay.
So if you can watch that.
So get in on that one, and then his special Tennessee Kid.
So good.
Okay, great.
And it's weird to say, but he's clean. Like, doesn't swear.
Yeah, right.
Not necessarily, R-rated MA15 plus material.
Yep.
But I haven't been hooked like that for ages.
Okay,
like
that's good.
Just clever.
It's
really
so
clever.
funny, man.
Yep.
I couldn't recommend it.
Awesome.
I couldn't recommend it enough to yourselves and the listeners.
No, that's good.
To be honest.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, everyone, go and see Cat Daddy. How long are you playing for?
So I got one more night,
Yep.
July 13 at the Factory Theatre.
Wicked.
It is a big ass room, so please
Okay.
come along.
Well, we'll definitely get that out there. This goes out Wednesday.
Next
So
Wednesday.
today is Saturday. So
That's before July 13th.
So
it
we'll
works
be
really well.
Yeah, there's no point. We're pretty switched on with this whole marketing caper around here,
100%.
mate.
Well, if you guys want me to come back, I had a lot of fun. So
Cool, man. We
please
appreciate it.
Just tell me. It's good to get out of the house, really.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked at a fucking watch then. Whatever.
Yeah, no, he's a real physical comedian. If I
He
told
is,
you
isn't
this.
he?
You guys didn't even. I tricked you just then.
I was like,
What's the time?
I think we
What's
need
the
to get
time,
together
mate?
and write some sketches here. I think. Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks,
you, mate.
guys.
Cheers,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Cool.
Bye.